Well, doesn't this look bloody comfortable? On the list of priorities for Albion, building an alehouse was pretty bloody high. The meeting place, the mess hall, the longhouse. The perfect spot to drink and listen to Wonderwall. After defeating the small cross-clan outpost, the hunter feels much more relaxed and secure, taking a little bit of time off. In his absence, Albion has grown very much. Also, his men have trained with bow and spear alike, and have become awfully proficient hunters. Come the morning, the hunter will lead a group of 8 Albionians out on a resource gathering run, and if they can, they're going to try to rescue some more slaves. Given the hunter's constant picking and raiding on cross-clan, eventually Albion will surely outnumber them. When that day comes, we can hope cross-clan will be utterly eradicated from the very fabric of this game. Loading up on a fine batch of quality, home-produced Albion ale, the hunter makes his way towards his troop and prepares to lead them into the growing light. There's nothing that prepares you for an arduous day of labor like getting royally pissed up before you leave. Chin chin! As my father always used to tell me over the fire, a bottle of scotch a day keeps the fear at bay. Fantastic advice that, couldn't recommend it more. Come on boys, off we trot. The breaking light brings forth a hangover the likes of which has never been seen. However, our hunter, well versed in the art of drinking, will lead his band onwards regardless. 8 men. 8 good men that would lay their lives down for the hunter at any moment. Very nice. He intends to leave 3 gathering wood for the growth of Albion, and taking 5 onwards to try and free some slaves. Wolf has proved himself a far better fighter than a gatherer, and so he shall be joining the hunter on his expedition. With the customary spear stab, he indicates that they should start their gathering. Like a pack of highly aggressive, well-trained Siberian black wolves, the hunter and his group head off into the unknown. Look at all those spears, makes the heart melt, doesn't it? The hunter has deduced that the most important feat when trying to survive on this server is stealth. You have to be the first one to see your enemy. Albion operate in a similar fashion. Yes, they may be rather slow getting where they need to go, but they'll get there safely, and more importantly, they'll get there alive. However, that being said, even the greatest hunters and fighters get weary after a certain amount of traveling. Lucky for them, a very shallow pool presents itself, and the group frolic and run through the shallow waves. Wolf leaps into the water. Evidently he thought it was deeper, making a right ass of himself. Some time later, the group find themselves in the presence of a magnificent castle. Looming through the fog, the sheer size of this building is utterly astounding. However, so far from home, the group must be careful. But the castle must be explored. Who knows what kind of loot could be hidden away in there? The place looks relatively dilapidated. Maybe it was unfinished. Maybe it was raided. There's only one way to find out. The boys must take it. Methodically, the hunter plans his approach to the castle carefully. Who knows who could be hiding away in there? Wait a minute. Looks like a cross-clan member and a slave. Crikey. He sends 3 of his men down to investigate. He will take 2 to investigate the castle. Splitting his forces equally is a wise play indeed. They'll return to this small structure on top of the hill after both of them have concluded their missions. Galloping down the mountainside, the 3 are eager to see what lies in the dark reaches of this castle. Maybe it has inhabitants. Maybe they're friendly. Who knows? They could even help Albion in the attack of cross-clan. The banners adorning the walls, however, do not look familiar to the hunter. He had better be on his guard. The place looks absolutely huge. But again, it does look rather run down. I wonder if it's locked. Interesting incorporation of the high external stone gate. It's unlocked though. Only one way to find out what's inside. Fingers crossed for bountiful loot and plentiful ale. One door missing. Maybe it was broken into. During all the time spent on this server, none of the chaps have seen a base quite like this. It's monstrously huge, and they know anyone could be hidden around in it. They're going to explore the entire thing, loot as much as they can, then return and meet the other Albionians atop the cliff. From the inside, the place definitely looks half finished. That entire wall is just thatch. The 4 strategically placed toothpick-like pillars don't seem to be doing much for the stability of this place. The hunter has a dreadful feeling that just a bad gust of wind might send the entire castle collapsing down on him. Seems Wolf's finding his way around alright. Interesting. The place looks to have been built fantastically for a defensive operation. However, it doesn't seem like there's much luck when it comes to loot. Bloody Mary, look at the size of that tower. And it's all precariously balanced on some pieces of wood. When this thing comes down, which it undoubtedly will, it'll be quite the show. After searching the entire place, the hunter thinks it's about time to leave. Just one more cursory glance around to see if he's forgotten anything. When I look at this place, I'm fondly reminded of Warwick Castle, a place I spent much of my youth. It's a beautiful castle, sitting on a cliff overlooking a bend in the River Avon. Built by William the Conqueror in 1068, Warwick Castle was a mighty fortification indeed. Well worth a visit if you're around Warwickshire. Another point was, oh my god, cross-clan! It's an ambush. They've got the hunter and his chaps pinned in this castle. Crikey, he was so stupid. How did he fall into this? The other 3 Albionians are still off chasing that slave and his driver. What are they going to do? Maybe try and defend it themselves. First off, he must get the attention of Wolf. As far as the hunter knows, there's only one way Crossclan can get in, and that's through the 1x1 doorway. If they get their spears and position well, I'm sure they can keep them back. Whatever pitiful loot they've found in this place will have to be used to full effect in this fight. Arrows rain in as a hailstorm. Wolf and the hunter line up, ready to greet them as they come in. In the wise words of Leonidas, we will hold them at the hot gates, where their vast numbers won't count for shit. Here they come. Crikey, that's a lot of them. Come on boys, we can do this. Like a group of defensive fire ants, the hunter and his team managed to keep back the advancing Cross-Clan. It doesn't seem like any of them really have the balls to come through the door. And anyway, all these jabbing spears are usually a good people repellent. Oh hunter, that was very coy. It seems that holding them in the narrow doorway is a very good plan indeed. However, the hunter has to be careful for his flanks. Who knows where they could come from? Atop the stairs, he's found a vantage point. They won't expect him to come from here. The hunter takes advantage of the castle's defensive nature to its utmost extent. Oh, seems they've backed up from the door. Crikey, they're going for a different approach now. Lucky for him, they're as blind as bats. Couldn't spot a fucking Jesus! Okay, I take that one back. He's taken a hit. Gotta be careful, if he loses one member of Albion, the entire formation could crumble and send his hopes and dreams of defeating this dastardly clan into a downward spiral. Seems like Wolf and the other Albionian are holding their own for the moment though. The hunter must try and reinforce any gaps in the castle's structure. An attack in the rear would undoubtedly ruin them. Quickly scouting the horizon for any other sign of Cross-Clan, the hunter desperately searches for anything that could lead to their downfall. Crikey, just as he thought, there's another group coming around the back. Damn and blast it, this entire corner is completely open. Lucky for him, he found some metal barricades secreted in the castle. This should keep them at bay for now. While Wolf holds one door, the hunter frantically attempts to hold the other, trying to keep them at bay with his spear. Very nice. This one looks rather unsure of himself. Bless him. Coward. Fuck me, that was a close shot. Come on, Hunter, put the other barricade down. With the breach in the wall secure, he can rest a little bit easier. However, there are still flanking units. He must be careful. What on earth is this chap doing? Do not try and taunt him, ever again. I'm sure that won't be a problem with half your brains scattered among the tundra. Looks like he's managed to repel this side attack. However, our hunter is still very anxious. Will the door hold? He darts up the stairs to get a better idea of what's happening by the door. Reloading his crossbow with an effortless use of 4 fingers, he gets his vantage point. Crikey, there's still a lot of them out there. What on earth is he going to do? They have no real advantage, and leaving the castle right now would be utter suicide. There's no telling how many of CrossClan are hiding around in the grass. The hunter is panicking, trying to divert their attention from the doorway up to him. Crikey. As the battle rages on, our hunter continues to scout the horizon for any sign of any movement whatsoever. As long as Wolf can hold the door, our hunter can oh my god, CrossClan! Again, they're trying a flanking maneuver. How on earth did they plan on getting up here? There's CrossClan at both sides of the castle. What can he do? Oh my god, they're already up here. Not today, chum. Oh, crumbs. That one's got the flamethrower and a metal face mask. He must be one of CrossClan's leaders. A valuable kill and an even more valuable prisoner. The hunter desperately evades flames cascading towards him in an attempt to bring both of them down. Come on. Yes! One of them's dropped. Burnt to death by their own flames. Fantastic. Just the general left. One shot should do it. Extraordinary. Now, Hunter, be smart here. How much more valuable could this man be as a prisoner to you? Killing him would be foolish. He's valuable. The hunter takes a risk, helping him up and hoping to God that he's got some sense and doesn't try anything stupid when the hunter's wielding a fucking flamethrower. All problems are not yet resolved, however. There are crossbowmen down there. God knows if they're going to try and come up, but the hunter must be prepared. Carefully. Carefully. Oh, crikey. Sorry, mate. Wrong day to try this. Like the fiery dragon of justice, the hunter incinerates the surrounding terrain, bringing down the CrossClan that attempted to climb up the castle walls. And sir, that's his stone spear. Thank you very much. Upon arrival, the hunter noticed a few cells down on the bottom floor. His intention is to put this dastardly prisoner in one of them, until the battle is over. With no weapon that he knows of, the prisoner is basically useless. However, if Albion managed to get out of this and get back to their base, having him locked away would be a very valuable asset in the battles to come. Let's hope he gets the picture. Wonderful. Our hunter is still a little bit concerned, however, that there is a breach on top. CrossClan could come in at any point again. He must be prepared at all times. Oh, Wolf. Fantastic. Locking him in. Didn't think of that one. Wonderful. One thing, however, is very clear in the hunter's mind. If they are to win this battle and defeat CrossClan, they must get the attention of the other Albionians, who are still not involved. It is very likely indeed they are waiting on the mountaintop, waiting for the hunter to return. But he never will. He needs to get their attention and get them to hit CrossClan in the rear. Oh god, looks like there's more of them. I'm not sure how many more waves of CrossClan these three will be able to survive. The hunter's got to get their attention and fast. One of them first though. Very nice. Again, leaving Wolf and the other to fight off at the door, the hunter decides it's a good idea to climb to the very top of the high tower. As unstable as it may look, the risk must be worth it. If all goes to plan, he'll be able to climb to the very top, see the other Albionians, and somehow indicate to them that they need their help. For God's sake, don't let this thing come down when he's inside it. Jesus. Bounding up the stairs in a Herculean fashion, our hunter reaches the top and begins ascending the ladders to the very precarious-looking platform. If a passing seagull were to hit this tower, it would fall down, I have no doubt. There they are, waiting for the hunter on that ridge. Bean can grenades. Maybe the explosion will be enough to draw them over. Desperately, our hunter prays to himself. Please, see and hear these explosions. Come join in the fray. Nothing yet, and he's only got one more. Please, Albion. Please hear this. They're jumping. They've heard him. They're coming, thank God! They can hit Cross Clan in the rear and send them back to the dirty drains they've come from. Carefully climbing down the ladders, he's so thankful that they heard him, and that the tower withstood his ascent. Upon reaching the bottom, his stomach begins to start digesting itself. This is no problem, however, because he's going to watch Cross Clan get utterly wrecked. There they are, the other 3 Albionians, and it looks like they've managed to rescue a slave. Fantastic! With volley after volley after volley, their arrows penetrate the dastardly Cross Clan that lie beneath the hunter. Their screams echo throughout the castle. A very fitting end. They live like rats, they die like rats. Fan-fucking-tastic. The arrow-filled carcasses of the dead Cross Clan members litter the floor. Albion is reunited, and they've got a new ex-slave, hurrah! The Cross Clan captain waits in his cell after watching his entire force get murdered right in front of him. The rest of them must have all run away. Fitting. Very fitting. Crikey, there's still one out there, come on boys! Must be one of their survivors returning for revenge. And he's killed one of the hunter's men. Running into the distance and wearing bone armor, he will get his comeuppance, I'm sure. The hunter is not foolish. He knows that this attack was only led by a small group of Cross Clan. If they wait here too much longer, he's sure the huge army will come and kill every last one of them. They must gather up all they can, loot the bodies, and leave swiftly with their new prisoner. A crying shame they had to lose a man. A good fighter too, held the door well. The time has come to collect the prisoner and leave this bloody castle once and for good. Every man holding a weapon against this prisoner was once captured by him, imprisoned by him, and forced to work for him. I really would not want to be in his shoes right now. A quick scout of the horizon to make sure there's no Cross Clan remaining, and the group leave, prisoner in tow. As night draws in, there is some debate as to what to do with him. However, the hunter is insistent. He must be brought back to Albion. But he does not deserve armor, and he does not deserve trousers. He shall walk into Albion naked as the night. Shame on him. Pulling himself up and embracing the humiliation, they begin to make their way back towards the town. After a long and arduous trip, they are greeted by the wonderful sight of Albion's gates once more. And look at all those weapons pointed at the prisoner, buddy, do not try anything funny. Having called ahead to have a cage made for this miscreant, the group is still nervous. Never before has Albion taken a prisoner, and never before has a Cross Clan member been inside these walls without holding a weapon and trying to kill. As the gates slam shut, our hunter makes an executive decision. Time for beer. They are all lucky to be alive. And as they dart into the longhouse, they have one goal in mind: to drink as much ale as they can muster, and to force themselves to consume as much wolf meat as can fit in their stomachs. Hell yes! Ah, it reminds me of my youth. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of success, and of course, the naked man bound in a cage. Well, doesn't this just look rather comfy? After another solid day fighting cross-clan and doing what they do best, Albion once more gather in the Longhouse for a night of hearty drinking and good fun. Wolf in particular fought well today, and the hunter bows to him in respect. Wolf repays the favour, as he should. He heads to the roof to light up a cigar in celebration. What a beautiful night. A good night to celebrate a good victory. Fire. Oh my god.